book Song of Solomon, chapter 1, this woman says to this young man, "Kiss me and kiss me again, for your love is better than wine." And this word love, this is a Hebrew word, this is sexual love. She isn't just Facebook liking this guy. She is deeply in love with him. And she's pursuing this man. But then she says something that's so profound here. She says, "Your love's better than wine, but your name is like oil." And to speak of a man's name in this culture was to say that this man has character, that this man, he's not just handsome, but he has a name beneath his skin, that this is a man of God. And she is physically and sexually attracted to this man, but there's something so much deeper: his name, his character, his integrity. And then this man, he responds, and he begins to speak to this woman, affirming her and wooing her and calling her into this relationship. And what I love about this whole passage is they communicate their standards to one another. This woman, she's not silent. This man is not passive, but they're both speaking things very specifically and directly to each other. They're not afraid to talk about their desire. They create a safe place to speak to one another. And both of them, they have these standards, they have these convictions, they have these values, and they're sharing these values. And I would say to you men, you don't have to be ashamed of your values. You don't have to be ashamed of your convictions. That as we stand before God and we become not just followers of Jesus, but men of God, we develop these convictions and these standards of purity and the kind of name that we want to have before the Lord, and the kind of character that we want to bring into a relationship. And at some point, you begin communicating these things. And it takes courage. It really does. I remember the season when I began communicating my own standards and values and convictions to my soon-to-be wife. And there's a real courage, but this is the kind of man that she wants. And in the Jewish culture, a young man, when pursuing a Jewish woman, there would be this party that the father would throw, a betrothal party. And at some point in this party, this young man would have to walk across the room in front of everyone, in front of this woman and her friends and her father, in front of his friends. And he would pursue this woman face to face in front of everyone. He's not just texting her late at night, sending her pictures. He's not just liking, her Instagram pictures, but here he is face to face pursuing this woman in front of everyone. And this is a man of God. And here's this man, and he offers her this cup. And at this party, he's saying to this woman, "Will you come into this adventure with me? Will you come into this relationship with me?" And she can take this cup and she can drink of it. And if she drinks of this cup, she's saying, "I want to pursue this relationship with you." If she doesn't, she takes this cup and she throws it on the ground and breaks it in front of everyone. So there's a lot of pressure on this young man, but he still has to risk. And this is the kind of men that God is raising up on the earth. This is the kind of generation we're believing God for. Men that can pursue a woman in front of everyone. Men that aren't just passive or hiding in the shadows, but they can walk across the room, offer her that cup and say, "Would you come into this relationship with me? I'm doing this in community. I'm doing it under the covering of fathers and spiritual leaders." And she says yes, and they begin this journey, this dating adventure together. And so I just pray that God would give you courage, men, the kind of courage to communicate your standards, to communicate your values, and pursue a woman face to face.